don't listen to the Beatles run. Old Bo Cephas threw a jukebox needle at the honky-tonk where their boots stomp all night. What? Yeah, and what they call work a digging in the dirt. Gotta get it in the ground before the rain come down to get paid to get your girl in your four-wheel drive. Yeah, the boys round here drinking that ice-cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot a back, a shoot a back, a shoot a back, a spit. Oh, heck. Well, the boys around here, they're keeping it country. Ain't a damn one know how to do the Dougie. No, I'm not in Kentucky, but these girls around here, yep, they still love me. Yeah, the girls around here, they all deserve a whistle. Shaking that sugar sweet as Dixie Crystal. They like that y'all and southern drawl and just can't help it 'cause they just keep falling for the boys around here. Drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys around here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back, a shoot her back, a shoot her back, a spit.
Let's ride through the countryside. Let's ride down to the riverside.
Hey now, girl, hop inside. It's me and you gonna take a little ride to the river. Let's ride. That's right. Lay a blanket on the ground. Kissing in the crickets is the only sound. We out of town. Have you ever got down with a do you wanna get down with a girl, you gotta get down with the boys round here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back, a shoot her back, a shoot her back. I'm one of them boys round here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back, a shoot her back, a shoot her back, a spit.
Welcome to the Wing It Call, June 10th, 2016. Let's all take a knee, please. Pastor isn't here, so it's all in the redneck witness. Lord, protect us and guide us today. We're all going to need it. Give us an understanding heart and ears to listen. Protect us from the evil that is out there. Protect us in ways that we don't even understand, for we need your guidance in this blessing. And only you know the true time when it shall be available and will reveal to us at that time. So, Lord, in your Son's name, Jesus Christ, amen. So, there we go. Hello, Wingman. Glad to see you made it. We're going to let Art go first, and then there's a little housekeeping. Art, you're unmuted. Go ahead.
Did you just get the text I sent you?
Yeah, I sent out the link I tweeted. I tweeted out what it was is the link that I first sent you. Art wasn't any good, so I resent another email and I retweeted or tweeted out the proper link.
Okay, I got somebody who couldn't get on. I tried it neither and couldn't get on, so because I don't get on that way anyway.
I sent you another email and it had the proper link. My apologies.
When did you send that email? I don't see it.
Let me see here. Hold on. Around noon.
Oh, correct link. Okay. Alrighty. I'll have to forward it to
my apologies. Yeah, my apologies.
Okay, I will forward it. In the meantime, let me do that real quick. Or everybody gets all upset that Art sent the wrong number.
No, Jerry did the link, but he didn't check, and it said AM instead of PM. That was my bad. My bad.
You're bad. Okay. I'll get it sent out right away, and then somebody can get on the call, because I got a bunch of people that I send to, and if I don't send it out to them right away, why, there we go. It won't take but a second to send it, and nobody will be upset maybe. On just a second. Okay, okay, here we go.
I was alerted to the problem at about 11:30 today, so when I got home at 12, I sent that out. Sorry, everybody. My bad. It's even the wrong link.
I just resent it, so.
Well, no, it was also the wrong link on the website, so I don't know if it got fixed or not, because I see we're low on people today, which is okay.
Yeah, I just resent it, at least to
my
list, the people I send it to, so. Okay.
Well, Art, give us what you got.
Judah back. It's kind of catchy, you know. Some people don't like that country music, but I do. It's kind of catchy. Anyway. Oh, what I got is naturally everybody was disappointed after yesterday, and it's supposed to happen, supposed to get the numbers, and we didn't. And I just heard a few countries hadn't signed what they were supposed to yet, some agreements, and supposedly all that's taken care of now, and it's back in process again. And naturally, we're looking forward again today, as usual. Why not? We look forward to every day, so we can hope and pray that today is the day. That's about all there is out there, really. Everything's really done. I mean, except since they took care of whatever signing they had to do, so we understand that we're still pretty good looking for today. So if not, who knows? But that's about all there is. I mean, everything else is just fine, just waiting for it like everybody else, and just say hi to everybody out there in Denarland as usual, and hope you all have a great weekend, and I hope it happens to be with the numbers to call the exchange centers, and you'll all be very, very busy if that's the case, and I hope to be very, very busy. So I'll leave it that way. That's all I got.
Thank you, sir. So a lot of housekeeping to do. A lot. We got a bunch of bullshit and crap going on out there that needs to be addressed. I'm ripping the damn bandage off. Let it bleed. I'm standing on the truth. I've always told the truth. I'm not the deceiver, the liar, the instigator, telling you it's going to happen every night, keeping you up till all hours of the night, keeping people pumped up, the hopium level, and then deflate. We've got one individual doing that, but we'll get to that one in a minute. The first individual we're going to get to, and I hope they're listening, and I'm going to be very plain, very well spoken, very soft spoken, because there's no screaming and hollering. It's on tape. And you can listen to this again. So I'm addressing this to Tank in the Create for Change room. Tank, I have your cell phone number and you have mine to come out and make the bold statement that Iko Ward is Ink Master is absurd and stupid on your part. If you had any questions, all you had to do was call me, because I have yours, I have Iko's, and I have Ink Masters, and I'm here to tell you, Tank, that they're separate. They're not one and the same. They will never be one and the same. They live in different parts of the country. And no, I was not about to call and have Ink Master on here, because then you could say, you know what, that doesn't sound like him, and you know, you can get anybody on there that you want. I'm calling you out. I called you the other day, but you were doing something. You were having family time, which I understand that. And so I just thought it would be best to address it today so everybody could hear it, since you were so public about my wingman being somebody else. If you had any questions, you could have called me. You have drank the Kool-Aid. There's a lot of people out there that have drank the Kool-Aid, and it's about time that this bullshit comes to an absolute halt. We talked about vetting people. Well, it's hard really to vet the way you want to, so you've got to do a couple of things. Trust your gut, trust your heart, listen with your head. They're not going to lead you wrong, and we as people have forgotten how to do that. Some are better at it than others, and sometimes we're just plain damn lazy and we don't want to do that. But we're at a point where it is now important that you do that. We've got so much disinformation out there in Dinar land that I've tried to stay above the fray, and today I'm not above the fray. I'm down here rolling in the mud like a redneck with the rest of the disinformation specialists. This could bring, this next little thing here could bring harm to me and harm to my family. But sometimes you just got to stand up. So, and if it offends you, so be it, but it is the truth. Yosef, I am no longer drinking the Kool-Aid. How can you on a call use my own words that I said, and here's how I first addressed it. When we were speaking and you were talking about these high sovereign rates, and I told people, I said, you know, if you knew what they were, and when you get to the appointment, you know, as I said, have them put on some oxygen on you on there, have you recline, and get ready, because when they flip the screen around, you're probably going to need, you know, maybe CPR after you see this. And then last night on the Fisher call to tell people that because I haven't told you what the rates are, I haven't drank the Kool-Aid, that it'll be my fault if you have a heart attack because of the rates that are on the screen and I haven't prepared you. What kind of godly man does things like that, calls it every night, on two different calls? You're on the Fisher call or the Real Truth call, and that's another thing. If it's the Real Truth call, tell the truth. Why do you call it every night? This is something like 120 days straight in a row. Sooner or later, you have to stop and question yourself, why am I calling it? Even though you might have great contacts, at what point do you stop and say, hold on, can we only keep the people pumped up so long before they can't take it anymore? Is that your thing, to break the people down? Get the hopium so high and up and down roller coaster? You know, and for Dr. WC, if I don't drink your water and eat the food you're talking about, I will not ascend as an ascending master into heaven or meet the people off planet. You know, I have some beliefs also, and it starts with the Bible. God gave me a head for more than just a hat rack. I'm responsible to a lot of people listening to me, and if you don't like what I have to say, then it's your option to click turn it off and go away. But Joseph, why are you doing this? This is a question that we all need to ask ourselves. Is it to supply the people with all the proper information, your information? And if anybody disagrees with you at all and doesn't drink hook, line, and sinker your Kool-Aid, then they're stricken from your list of people who believe and don't believe? Now, who does that make sense to, and who are you pulling the wool over on? Are you a deceiver? Are you a non-truth teller? Are you a liar like you have accused me? All I've ever done is said, look, I'm not talking dates or rates. And you've tricked me a couple of times. People are saying, well, they kind of tricked you into talking about that. Well, if I have to address something, well, that's tricking me into talking about it. But I don't spend hours on a call, and I call it chanting. We're free, we're free, we're free. My brothers were free. If you knew how free we were, it's the freedom that you'll never have again. You've done that a couple of times. It's acting like a cult. A man of God doesn't talk like that. You quote the scriptures in the Bible, and nowhere in there do I see Jesus Christ chanting like that. Very soft-spoken. And, of course, when needed, he went into the money changer's tent, lost his temper, and whipped the shit out of him. Get out. And that's exactly where we're at now. Somebody needs to go into the money changer's tent and whip the shit out of them to make a change. But unfortunately, it's at a position where we can't do that. We as the small people, and they don't want us to really wake up, which we're doing. But that's why this disinformation is out here to try to sidetrack us. Hold on. Nope, not Blue Moon, just water. Bruce, bless his heart. I wouldn't say he's drank the Kool-Aid, but you're on his call, and he doesn't talk about dates and rates. He's made that very plain, but you kind of allude to it. Am I better than anybody else? No. Am I going to catch some flack from this? I've been catching flack. But I try to be better than everybody else. But your actions are demanding some type of answer. And so here it is. You can take this, twist it however you want on another call. But everything's recorded. If not, people are still listening. It gets back in one form or another. I'm sure as I'm speaking right now that you're getting your text is blowing up going, Jerry's torching you. Oh my God, you should listen to this. Whether you do or not, I don't care. I've stated the truth. It's just intolerable. You know what? I'm just going to use this word. Why are you deceiving the people? One of us is going to be right and one of us is going to be wrong when this all comes down. And the thing is you keep talking about these high rates. How many people are going to get them? What type of benefit? First, we were talking about 75 to the bank, 25% for us. Now, because of such the massive high rate you're talking about, now we're just down to 1 to 4%, and then the bank gets the rest. What if something happens to the bank, which we've all been well assured there won't be any issues because they'll be fully liquid after this, but maybe there's something going on behind the scenes we don't know about. I'm looking at the big picture here. This is for the protection of the people. The bank already knows what they're going to do. And we're trying to look behind the scenes, pull the curtain back just to get an idea. That's really difficult. So we talk amongst ourselves. We take a theory, a hypothesis, to figure out what we're going to do, maybe to protect ourselves. Yet you keep throwing it out there. It's going to happen every night. You need to do this. You need to do that. Need to collect my thoughts here for a minute. Wingman, can you help me out for just a second?
Well, it's also absurd that I have a confession. I'm actually one of the galactic folks, and I teleport my voice only down in the form of tank. I'm not Ink Master. I'm actually Tank from outer space. So I just wanted to clear that one thing up.
No, hold on. I thought you were using a voice modulator, but you really in disguise are Joseph.
No, I'm not Joseph. No, Joseph works for a different company than me, out here on Zeta 17. We're both vying for control of the Earth. My thought was that if I just come off as a regular guy, plain spoken, trying to interpret all the information, that would work better than constantly changing my story to a more sensational one every 24-hour period. It's just, it's how we take over planets. It's everybody's individual style. So that's my stand on all this. Right now, if anybody is taking any one piece of intel as the gospel truth, you're missing the point. We are being inundated with misinformation, and I mean inundated. And if you just look at this from a business sense, think about it. Why would they even give us a window as to when this is going to happen? So that all the guys out there with their supercomputers and all the guys out there with their steam could zero in on a 3 or 4 hour window and be prepped to do their little micro trades and get it all done and, make a few $1 trillion and walk away unnoticed. Doesn't make business sense, guys. Now, look at the consistent message. There will be exchange centers. There will be 800 numbers. There is going to be an international rate, and there is going to be some kind of other rate that is larger. But what that is, we haven't been given the truth on any of it. And even up for grabs if we've been given the truth on the international.
Hey, Wingman, you're really windy and muffled.
Oh, that's because I'm in a windy, muffled place. There. Let me go down below. Just look at everybody. Just look at this with plain common sense. And look at what has been the longest consistent string of information. And that's probably the closest we're going to get to knowing what's going on until we actually get in the exchange. So, and again, don't get caught up in everything. Relax about how much we're going to get. We're going to get great rates. Even the international rates now are great rates. If you've got SIM, you're a multi-billionaire, billionaire. Some of you are trillionaires at the international rate. So just relax all about it. But getting into this who shot John and who's telling the truth, it's all designed to keep you upset and keep you off balance. They want you off balance when you run into that, when you walk into that exchange room. They want you off balance, and there's no need to be. It's that basic, guys. Just look at this with common business sense and even just plain old common sense. And you can smell a bullshit artist just as good as anybody else. I know you want to believe in these high rates, and I want to believe in them too. But I'm prepared for the lowest rate the highest rate, and everything in between. And you need to be that too. Even though Jerry and I talked about not talking about rates today, it just seemed appropriate. You gotta come at this with the flexibility of a master yogi, or somebody so close to God that you know you're taken care of.
Okay. So again, why is it a man of God is throwing me underneath the bus? Let's think about this for a second. What have I done to deceive the people? I just want you to think about that for a second. Because I do or I don't believe in the sovereign rates? Do I believe they're there? Yes, and I'm hoping so. But until we get into the bank, and I've addressed this many times, it's all lip service, backslapping. Oh, you're going to have this, you're going to have that. Okay, so we're prepared. Now, the truth sets in. We won't know till we get there. We just have to be flexible in our plans. I've discussed this too. Be flexible. When you walk in, you can't be set in stone like, yep, this is how it's going to be. You know, count it out. Here's your rate. Sign here. Negotiate. Be respectful. Listen. Listen closely to what they have to say. And that's another thing. They're listening to the calls. Now all of a sudden, no electronic devices, no recorders, no cameras, no laptops, nothing electronic. So let's address that for a second. If they're not wanting to do that, and yet they're willing to videotape the whole transaction, I go back to, why do you want to go in by yourself without some type of witness, an attorney, somebody beside yourself? Two minds think better than one. So you don't have the money up front. If you've got a bill, go take it to your local branch that has an exchange, currency exchange. Do a small note. And then contact an attorney and say, well, you know, I can't make it for a couple of days. Well, you know, does $2,500 get your attention? I need your services at noon today. I'm sure that money talks and bullshit walks. It's like, yes, sir. Lost my wingman. He'll be back. So another thing, but I'd take your stuff anyway. Take your cell phone, your laptop, you know, a recorder just in case. All I can tell you is leave it in the car. But still, I wouldn't go by myself. They change the rules to the game all the time. Protect yourself, because they are damn sure going to protect themselves. I guess my wingman is out for a while. He probably hit a dead spot. Oh, there he is. Wingman's back. Are you
Sorry,
back?
what happened? I missed it. Yeah, I was out there for a second.
Oh, no, nothing. I was telling them
okay.
About the electronics. If there's no cell phone and all the stuff, why do you want to go by yourself? Take an attorney with you. Now it's very imperative you take.
Yep.
Yeah, take a witness. Why do you want to trust them, who are going to video and audio the whole exchange procedure? And then if something goes wrong and you need to see their tape, oh, well, we lost that email, or we destroyed it.
Yeah.
Another case.
I'm taking my laptop and having them tell me right there, you can't bring that into your exchange meeting. I'm fine with that, but I'm not going to trust this rumor. This could just be BS put out by somebody. You know, bring whatever you want to bring, and if they say don't bring it into the exchange meeting, then fine, you don't bring it in, but at least you got it there.
You know, way back several calls ago, I said, let's stop all the backstabbing, backbiting, stabbing in front of yourself. You know, let's stop all this. Let's all get together, the intel providers, not gurus. Big difference. I've never claimed to have contacts. All I do is provide common sense and looking at things from a different angle, myself and my wingman. Iko brings a good balance because occasionally I can get too far out there in right field. Now let's talk about this for a minute, Jerry. Well, okay. Or I want to go twisting off in the wind like a kite string. Well, we better not. You know, I wanted to have this type of talk a couple calls ago, but cooler heads prevailed, and finally it's reached a point to where ripping the damn bandage off. You know, need to, lop a finger off. You know, let it bleed. That's what we're doing. Think we ought to take a call, Iko? Yeah, you know what? We'll take a call.
Yeah.
And why not start up here with this man here, B on the web. He's always got some great questions.
Hey, Jerry. Thank you for letting me on. Basically, we don't know much of anything as far as what they're going to do. And this speculation is really what's tearing up Denarland. So my suggestion...
Well said. Thank you.
My suggestion is, you know what? Just pray and find out what Holy Spirit's going to tell you to do. Listen and do it. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day.
That's another thing that I want to address. The good Lord knows your heart. Whether it's bright and white or dark and black, nobody is hidden from his view. This entire universe, galaxies, dimensions, all belongs to him. This wealth and riches that are coming our way all belongs to him. He knows what we can and cannot handle. And yes, Satan is in the mix in there too. He knows your weaknesses, and we all have weaknesses. Nobody, unless you're walking on water, you got a weakness. So that being said, when you go in and you're discussing your rates and you're negotiating respectfully, what you get is what you're going to get because that's what he wants you to have. No more, no less. Let's go on to our next caller. One question, and that's it. Port St. Lucie, 772. Come on down.
Jerry?
Yes, sir.
First time caller.
Welcome.
Jerry, unbelievable, sir. Unbelievable. You're right on the money. No condemnation. Reading Romans on that. But listen, a couple things. Understanding how you prayed for. All right. And Joseph, he's a plant, buddy. I agree with you. I'll tell you. Okay, there's one thing that's come out. It came out a couple months ago and nobody took heed to it. On the Zim, if you go on the XE, let's say, and you take it, you pair it, all right? You take the one ZWD and you go to the USD, it comes out to 0.00276. There's some other numbers. You times that by 1 million, because we all have one of those $1 million notes for Zim. It comes out to $276,000. It has a rate right now. How do you find somebody to exchange that rate for some chump change money?
You're not, because any of the banks, when you go in, even if you were trying to hop on a flight and leave the country and go do it somewhere, they're going to say, sir, are you a resident of this country? No. I'm an American citizen. Sorry, we can't help you. You're just, pardon the pun, screwed, blued, and tattooed, out of luck.
Really, since it does have a rate. It was on the, I'm on the TNT forum, raised so gosh darn conservative, I knows that, but it is just, it's had a rate for quite a while, but every time I call somebody hoping to find an investment banker or somebody, that like they keep their mouth shut. I don't know, somebody's exchanging it somewhere because there's a rate on it, okay? But Jerry, I have to tell you right now, this is a first-time caller, and when I got on, the Holy Spirit said, press 2. And from what you said today, okay, now Bruce, I've always had a high esteem. I don't know if you followed him, but the night that his wife died and he came on, and he was so committed to his deal with the big call, and then having a guy like Joseph on that's a deceiver, absolute deceiver, for whatever reason. And I don't know what his deal is, but I'm not judging him, but I see it in my spirit. And for you to come out and ask everybody to come together, and ICO come together, thank you, thank you, thank you.
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
And people are going to say that you're a plant. I don't care. But tell me, because I'm sitting here looking.
Me a plant? You got about 4 or 5 people that are my people, and that are listening right now. They can't believe I'm talking to you because I don't do this kind of stuff. But go ahead.
So
go ahead.
Explain to me in your own words, and you can take your time, what makes Joseph a deceiver or a non-truth teller, and why do you believe that?
It's just because of that he's so out of bounds, and there was a guy a couple of weeks ago that talked about Joseph. He actually jumped on your pastor with Bruce about Joseph. And what happens is in Proverbs 4:7, it says, the principal thing is to get wisdom. Where do you get wisdom? You get wisdom from the Bible. So the more you spend time with the Bible, you get wisdom. And what do you get? You get understanding. So when you get wisdom and understanding, the Holy Spirit will convict you on that, okay? You got to remember the devil was there when God wrote the Bible. You know what I mean? So when a person comes in like that, okay, he's absolutely convinced that he is right. He's sincere that he's correct, but he's absolutely wrong in some of the things he's talking about. And actually some of the people that I deal with from the Port St. Lucie area are being deceived by him because it's just like you said, if you and I and somebody else got together in Nashville, say I got together in Nashville and we were buying them all, would we have a lawyer go with us to buy them all? Of course. Well, it ain't going to be la-la land going on this exchange. This is going to be the biggest thing we ever run into. We need a lawyer and a good lawyer, and all anybody's got to do is call a lawyer. I got 3 of them in case one of them can't go. All you do is tell them, however you want to talk to them. But look, I need you. When I need you, I'm going to call you, and you got to be there, and the money's going to be there. That's it. It's not a big deal, just like you said today. And, anyway, I'm pretty passionate about this right now. You amaze me today by what you said. You're the one you're next on the line. You're in a chopping block right now. For what you said, you're in a chopping block, Jerry. You are. Sooner or later, we'll run into each other, and you'll remember this day when I talk to you.
My chestnuts have been roasting on the open flames for a while.
You made it all the way down from the White Elephant down to Billy Bob's in Fort Worth, haven't you?
Oh, yes.
You're a good man.
Nah.
You're a good man. I'll let you go, but I'm disappointed with the Zim though. If you do that when you get off the call, you do one ZWD against the USD, it gives you a rate times 100 million, and you get a rate on it. And it'd be real nice to have that money, since they're dilly-dallying around on how this whole thing's going to work. And there's money out there to be had, and some of these people that are really hurting, okay, like all of us are, could use some of that money. 270. I'd sacrifice $1 million note that cost me $670.
We kind of got sidetracked.
I'll let you go.
Ted. No. No, hold on. So again, you didn't really address, why do you think Joseph is a deceiver? Can you be more focus right in on that, and let's not get sidetracked?
The first time I heard Joseph, okay, it was all of a sudden, because I've been involved in this for a long time, and I think longer than you. But so I remember, and does somebody come on and be as strong as he is with what he knows? It either has to be somebody said to him, you need to help these people out, which isn't America. The administration doesn't want to help you out. Or it is somebody that is a deceiver or deception. So I listened. I remember the day.
And how is he? And how is he bringing the deception?
Well, he's using God. He's using God he's using God with what he's talking about. So he's bringing, if somebody's preaching to you, it's pretty hard to say he's deceiving you, okay? But he's not bringing the truth. It doesn't just add up. Yeah, it's pretty complicated to ask somebody that wasn't. But
no, it's okay. Thank you for what you've done.
But I'll tell you, thank you today. This was a epic call that you're having today. This is an epic call.
It's not
epic
done
call.
yet.
Thank you very much.
All right. Let us go down here to a number I recognize, to Jenks, Oklahoma. Come on down.
Thanks, Jerry, for taking my call. I just really, I want to take my hat off to you today for your comments. They were beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And this other caller, no, your neck is not on the chopping block because you're not the deceiver. And to answer your question you asked him, I can answer that. When he came on the scene, at his age, everything he said he has done in his life, international banker, raised money for Hollywood films, did PR and advertising for a big firm. At his age, that would be like me saying, well, I ran a construction business for 40 years, I was a U.S. senator, and I fought bulls on the side. Just his background at his age, there is no possible way he could have done everything he said. And you're right, he is bullshit. And if I squeezed all the bullshit out of him, he'd probably stand about 3 inches tall. And this got personal with me on a call I heard him on. You listen to him, and everyone is part of the cabal. Politicians, movie actors, sports figures. He put down Billy Graham and Joel Osteen as being part of the cabal. But what really hit me, it got home to me, was my heritage. He put down Catholics and he put down Jews. You know, this guy, he is a deceiver, a con artist, and you know, the other day I went out and I was thinking this, I go over to my buddy's house. I'm driving and I remembered all this. Have you ever been so mad you started to cry? That's how I was. That's how I was. And I pulled up at my buddy's house and I said, you know, someday, and you're right, see, you were right to call him out. And yes, Joseph, if you are listening, yeah, Jerry's right. You need to stand up and be counted and come to bat, you know, and you need to answer for some of this bullshit. Just like the guy said previously in Port Lucie, see, here's the shame of it, Jerry. People are believing him, you see, and he's good. He's damn good. But I tell you, this guy, it ought to be illegal. Yes, we have free speech, but, and see, with him, it's not only on the currency if you don't believe. It's the spiritual thing, too, because he's judge, jury, and executioner. There is no wiggle room. And I'll tell you what, he is not right. He's the deceiver, not Jerry Maguire, and this guy, it ought to be illegal what he's doing. I know we have freedom of speech, but, you know, you go running down certain religions, and, hey, I'll tell you this, and my friend knows it. I have personally met Billy Graham, and when I walked in there, I thought I was in the presence of him himself. Something overtaken. And I know.
It's okay.
I know that feeling. And Joseph saying that, who in the hell do you think you are? And I'll tell you this. After this is done, I told my buddy this. I'm going to hire a private investigator. It won't take long. He is going to answer to me in person. This is unadulterated bullshit. And to go further, I had my questions on Bruce about a year ago. Bruce is drinking the Kool-Aid because why would Bruce let someone on this call like him? You see, me and my buddy, we can't figure that out either. What the hell is going on? And this guy is a deceiver, and Denarland, he should be stopped, you know. I have never...
well, hold on. You've got to understand. We have, and I'm not speaking against anybody, because, you know, he was on my call and he had me fooled for a little bit until I couldn't go along, and I sent him a letter. I'm just paraphrasing the email that I sent Joseph, is that I can't do this anymore. I can't continue to prop the people up, you know, day in and day out, 3 calls a week, because it was taking such a mental and physical toll on me.
Mm-hmm.
And from that day forth, when I questioned, you know, what was going on, I went from the top of the boardroom to the outhouse in the push of a button.
Yeah. Well,
so,
you know, yeah, he tricked a lot of people. Yeah.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
And so people, everybody out there has a choice of who they want to listen to, and what level and how much they want to, their energy they want to focus on. I don't have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
But just, you don't have to force it on everybody else that if you don't do this, you're not going to get this or that. So
right.
Just a couple more things and wrap it up for you, and we'll take another caller. I mean, this is great information, but we could talk, and the call is going to go longer than an hour today. I promise you that. So, anyway, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Jerry. Uh-huh.
All right. Wingman, you're unmuted there. What's going on?
Sorry about that.
It's okay. You want me to take it? Okay. All right. Let's see. Put your hand down. Put your hand down. Grand Prairie, Texas. There's no name. Come on down. Last four of your number is 6718. You may not be calling from Grand Prairie, but that's where it says you're from. The last four of your phone number is 6718. You're unmuted. You got a Dallas area code. Hello, Grand Prairie. Prefix or your area code is 214. Testing 1, 2, 3. Well, okay. You're out of the pool. Don't know who this is. We'll give it a whirl. 469. Roxanne, come on down.
Hi there.
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
hear me?
Go ahead. Oh, yes, we can.
Okay. You guys are all heroes in a lot of ways because you spend so much of your life, your time, your energy doing the best you can. And I believe that all of you are doing the best you can to bring us what you're hearing. The problem is, and I want to say this as respectfully as possible, but I listen to all these other calls too because I'm just trying to gather information. And that gentleman that was just on was on the call last night calling in praising Joseph. And then he comes on today, and I've heard him on Nancy's call. And it's like, dude, pick a side. I mean, it's unbelievable to me. Every day he's on somebody else's call bashing one of you guys.
Oh, so, see, I don't listen to any other calls.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You know, I'm not trying to stir the pot, but I'm trying to call out a pot stirrer. You know, and there's no reason for us on this call to even listen to a bunch of bashing because that's not what this is all about, and it's not what you're about. You've made that clear. I mean, I've learned so much from you, from Iko. Art just cracks me up every time he comes on, and I enjoy the call. I look forward to it. And so I guess I would encourage, even for some of the callers, you know, that call in, let's take it with a grain of salt because that particular gentleman has a very distinctive voice, and I have heard him. He calls in. I hear him, like I said, I'm on Nancy's calls. I'm on Bruce's calls. I listen to The Real Truth. I listen to you. And just let's take it with a grain of salt when somebody like that calls in, you know. I am not of the opinion that Joseph is evil. I'm still gathering information. I'm just hoping that this thing happens soon and everybody does the best they can, you know, helping everybody else. And I want to thank you and Iko and Art and all of those intel providers who I honestly feel in my heart are doing their very best to help us because we would be in the dark without you. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Well, I have a question. Since you listened to all the calls, why is Joseph disparaging me like he is, saying that I'm causing people to have heart attacks because I won't talk about the rates. Even though I've said I don't talk dates or rates, but I have talked about them being higher than normal if they're there. I just don't understand why he's throwing me underneath the bus.
I have to apologize because I don't remember hearing that. Or if it was said, I don't remember hearing it to the point where I gave it any attention. You know what I mean? It might have been said under, I don't know. So I can't answer that question. If he did do that, he shouldn't have. But that gentleman that was just on said, I'm not sitting in judgment. The heck he's not. It's exactly what he's doing. And I think none of us should be sitting in judgment at this point. We should just chill out, be respectful to each other, and let's get this thing done. So I'm not trying to sidestep. I don't remember hearing it. Did you actually hear it on the call?
I had people that actually sent me verbatim, because I don't listen to the calls, but I have so many members, they bring it in, and I don't listen to just one. I've got several different people, so.
Okay, well, with that, you know how life is with he said, she said. Sometimes just their inflection or the way they said it or wrote it or texted it can make it 100 times worse than it ever was. So just take it with a grain of salt. Because like I said, this guy that just called, every day he's praising somebody else and talking bad about a different intel person. And I had to call you. I just had to, because I'm like, this is the same dude last night that was on, praising Joseph. And I know, because I was up listening. So, anyhow.
Well, thank you very much. What state are you in?
I'm in Texas.
Oh, because it doesn't say. Of course.
So, where it doesn't snow. So.
Well, that all depends. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
We're going to Pittsburgh, PA, 412. Come on down.
Hey, Jerry.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Not bad.
Say, I don't know, that last caller, we'll hear from that gentleman that was right before her, I'm sure, to follow up on this, but I highly doubt that was him on the other calls. But my question to you is, I'm glad that there's this tippy-toeing around all this is finally at least exposed, and I commend you for that on all this. But what I want to know is, where is the incentive? Where is the incentive for these other calls? And let's go with Bruce's call. What am I missing here that these guys will do this and look in the mirror at the end of those programs and nothing's staring back at them except a shell, like two piss holes where their eyes are in the snow? I don't get that.
Easy.
No. The easy is over. We're ripping the bandage off, right, Jerry?
Yes, but I understand where you're coming from. Go ahead.
The last two, outside of the lady that just spoke, the previous two callers pretty well stole all my thunder. But let's talk about, where is the drive to do this? What are you noticing that on Bruce's call every evening he rattles through these banks? Is there a tie-in somewhere that I'm missing? Where is the incentive for this?
For them to talk about high rates or what?
The whole shooting matches. The whole infomercial. I've emailed you. You know who this is, Jerry. I've talked to you about this whole infomercial, the whole gang over there. Sue, and I don't need to mention names. Anybody that's listening, that listens to his program, and they'll say, well, why do you bother listening? Well, I actually stopped listening. Last night was the first time I just said that was enough. but I'm trying to understand, where are these guys getting compensated for this? What am I missing? Please help me out there.
I don't know, because I don't get compensated. I don't have a.
No,
I don't have
I
a,
understand
a
that.
Click,
I understand that
side.
completely.
I can't answer that. I'm not in their shoes. I'm doing this out of my heart because I'm directed to provide some information and guidance to people that I believe is true and accurate.
Oh, and I commend you completely. And at least some people, even though some of the calls I understand can get very frustrating for you or others to listen to, because there's some are way out there. I hope I'm not. But all I'm trying to do is stay on point about what am I missing as far as how these guys push this. I'm talking about there is no accountability, nothing. I mean, let's go back to the first time that Joseph rode into town on the Wissam call, the Pale Rider. Are we even sure the Zim is a historic bond? Can anybody even tell me that? Where can I find that?
Can I chime in? Jared?
Iko.
Yeah. Here's we got a couple of problems here. Number one, we don't want to. We have to give Bruce the benefit of the doubt because he has a history. But it could, if you want to know what incentivizes people to do things like this, it could be a myriad of. It could be a combination of things. It could be one single thing. It could simply be that Bruce craves the attention. And by having these people on his show, he gets more people listening. I'm not saying that's it. I'm just saying that's one option. Another one is he's figured out how to monetize the hit on his show and on his website. And by having the more sensational intel people on, he gets more hits. He could be, I say. Being convinced somehow, you can choose your poison to entertain these guys so that they can get their message of misdirection out. One thing I'll say without even blinking is that there is a very active misdirection campaign coming at the DNR community in Temple. Okay, and then if you get into accusing who's part of it and who isn't, you set yourself up for liability. So you always have to be careful about this stuff. But there is a misdirection campaign. It is getting to it. It is creating confusion and causing dissension in the ranks, which keeps us from being a focused 5 million strong group of people with a single direction and a single leader. And that's a classic PSYOP routine. You spread misinformation. If you ever make a promise and the promise doesn't come true, you replace it with a more outrageous promise because it focuses the crowd on the outrageous, the new promise, and completely dissolve their energy around the old promise. Now they've got a new promise to think about. There's all kinds of things that are going on here that are very complex and being very well crafted. And you're a perfect example of this. You're pissed off, and they want guys like you to be pissed off, and they want guys like you to come on to these calls and express that anger because it stirs up the other people on these calls. I'm not saying you're a bad person for doing it, man. I could spend 2 hours uttering nothing but 4-letter terms at some of these people.
But Iko, when you wrap it with the spirits too, with God, that's another whole issue as well. So what I'm saying is,
right.
eventually, Iko, eventually, some nights you got to look at yourself, and there's nothing staring back at you.
But you know what? I know professional con people. I mean, I'm talking like on the level of that movie Focus. You know, I I know people like that, and they do not look in the mirror and see a bad person. They see a clever, successful person. So you got to understand that we all don't look in the mirror with the same pair of eyes and the same set of values.
Well, and addressing the anger, I'm talking with passion, not necessarily anger, because I have found months ago that I'm at peace with this now. I don't care what the value is. I've gone on. I'm remodeling a house. Took a break because I like Jerry's call, because I had some time. But I've spoken to Jerry about this in emails. The people that I feel bad for are the people that have gone all in on this like a poker game, that are taking breaks at a Walmart on every breath that these clowns say. And people like Miracle Queen calling in because she's a little older and she's wondering what the hell's going on here. That's the people that I'm talking about, Iko.
But you can't protect everybody.
Well, it's bullshit, and you know it, and everybody else knows it.
I totally agree. It's bullshit. It is bullshit. But unfortunately, well, certainly, people like me and Jerry, we came to a conclusion a long time ago. You can't control it. You can only mitigate it. You can only step in and try to get at. I even hate the word truth now. I can't even trust anybody who says they're telling the truth. The minute they say it, I'm suspicious. But what we're all trying to do in the name of goodness, it will win out eventually.
I'm sure it will, Iko, and all I'm trying to, and Jerry's, I don't know what happened to Jerry, but you guys
I'm back. I got kicked off.
You guys don't have to apologize for anything, and you keep that straight. You're straight up with everything, and you keep chugging along, and don't worry about all this apologetic crap for calling it like it is, because a program like this with an edge is needed. And I'm out, and you'll hear from me again, and you guys hang in there. Thank you.
Thank you.
I got kicked off my own call. Imagine that.
Well, come on. You only got, what do you got, an IQ of 85?
Yeah, something like that.
That's what happens here. Just so you know, the sun actually burns off your brain cells all along the back of your head. That's why you get a red neck. That too. You can't help the way you are. Just you got to get up
here we
to the
go.
Northeast where it's flat.
Murfreesboro, Tennessee, 615. Come on down. Murfreesboro, Tennessee. That's where you're calling from. 615. Come on down. I'm looking at Twitter, and people are one guy's disappointed about all the negativity in the call. And I said, you missed the point. I said, and I understand if you want to turn us off. Well, they're not there. All righty. Springfield, Ohio, 937. Come on down.
Jerry, how you doing, buddy?
Red neck. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, sounds good. Hey, the thing I've noticed here lately, and I've got a little gun is I thought we were kinder, gentler banks work with us now. All of a sudden, you said you want to keep 94% of this.
Okay, you're kind of cutting out, but I think I got your gist here. Let me see. Let me repeat this. If you take the high sovereign rate that Joseph is talking about, the bank first off, they came out with they want to do a 75-25. Now, according to Joseph, and here we are talking about him again, giving him his 60 minutes on my call without him being here. Now it's down to there's such a high rate and such a massive amount of blessings and money coming your way that the bank will be happy to let you keep 1 to 4% with the amount that he's talking about, which is a lot of money.
I don't agree with that. I don't think you should be doing that.
Well, that's why reality bit me in the ass, and I said, let's back up here. That is a lot of money. Yes, we've been underneath the thumb of the slave masters for a long time. We're still there. Until we go to the bank, we're underneath the thumb of the slave master. And even after that, we have to be very vigilant about the things that we do. So that's why you're hearing about the percentages, about what the bank's going to hold on to for, they're going to invest it for us and do their humanitarian projects or whatever projects and pay us an interest rate. So that's why
I
you're
just
hearing.
I feel like I'm under the, and my age, I don't need that. So
right.
If you can, and this is all you have no choice. You can't. If you exchange with them, you're stuck. Now, can you say, "Okay, I'll take my dinar, my dog, and I'll go down"?
Well, you're kind of cutting out there, but unfortunately, if you want to exchange your Zim, it's strictly at Wells Fargo that we know of so far.
Right.
So,
but
all righty, sir.
If I wanted to, I could take my dong and go somewhere else.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank
That's
you, sir.
Cool. Bye.
Oh, here we go into redneck country. Be prepared. Uh-oh. Raleigh, North Carolina, 919. Come on. Oh, come on. Raleigh, North Carolina, come on down.
Can you hear me?
5x5.
Hello. Okay. Hey, guys. I'd like to read a couple of little quick things, not my words, but the man himself, Mr. Yosef, has posted by him on therealtruthcall2.com. Things he believes in. It's called I Believe. And the first one starts off, he believes in Yahshua ben Yosef as God. Well, he's taken his name to equal God because he's taken Yosef. These are some of the points under what he believes in ascended masters that are guiding us benevolently through a transition of eras, in non-human beings walking the surface of the earth right now, in the disclosure of multi-terrestrial beings aiding humanity and soon, in human bodies living longer than 500 years, in humanity is being recalibrated back into our original cellular structure, whatever the heck that is. In the global currency reset, revaluation of currencies happening at midnight tonight. This is all dated 3/26. These are the things that he said, as well as when asked the question about whether or not people should believe in astrology, not astronomy. Astronomy is a science. Astrology is following the stars. He said yes, and he gave the explanation why instead of saying no, which is what the Bible says. That's why I believe he is a deceiver, because of these things that he throws in around all of his God stuff. Now, I do have a question that has absolutely nothing to do with Yosef. Okay? When the dinar was printed, it was printed with the big 25,000 notes, the 10,000 notes, the 5,000, the 1,500, but it also has the smaller denomination. Do you know, or do you think, the reason they were printed with such large denominations instead of printing small denominations was so that the other countries could get paid back for their investment in Iraq and helping liberate it and putting money back into the infrastructure?
I believe so. Well, I believe so, and I believe if you go back and look, World War I, World War II, the Vietnam War, any country that's invaded, the first thing you do is the bankers go in there and depress their money down to tenths of a cent, so that when it does come back in place, all the people that, the power brokers, that's how they make their money. That's what's called currency wars, and that's exactly what's going on right now. So, yes, I do. And that's my reasoning for that answer.
No, I thought of that. My wife and I were talking about that the other day. Why did they print such big notes? Because they could have printed just a small one when they went in. Because these were all printed before Bush Jr. actually went in to invade. Everything was all printed and ready to go before this was ever taken on. So.
Of course,
okay.
the plan was already in motion.
Yep. So anyway, like I said, I wanted to bring Joseph's own words and let people judge for themselves, because you go by what he said, and he mixes in some good work with some really mystic stuff. That's all.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Bye.
Let's see. Let's go to Baltimore, Maryland, 443. Come on down. Oop, they unmuted themselves. Here, I'm unmuting you. Baltimore, Maryland. Yeah, they keep muting themselves. Wichita Falls, Texas, 940. Come on down.
Well, this is your northern
Hello
redneck.
there. Hello, redneck. How you doing today?
Doing great. I just wanted to say that I process everything through the eyes of the Word, being a Christian, so I'm a little limited there. But the guy before us stole most of my thunder, but if you look at what we're talking about, the credibility isn't there. And I thank you for calling it out.
You're welcome. Uh-oh.
Bless.
Oh, you're cutting out there. You're going to have to hold your arm up.
I'm sorry. I just said thank you and God bless.
All right. Thank you, sir. Let's go to Bend, Oregon, 541. Come on down.
Hi, Jerry.
Hello.
How are you? Can you hear me?
Chestnuts roasting on the open plain. Yes, we can hear. No, can't hear you now. You muted yourself.
Okay, I unmuted.
There you go.
Am I
yes,
back?
we can hear you.
Okay,
yes,
good. Well, I too want to say thank you. I have had an odd feeling for a very long time about some of these fellows, and I've been in this 5 years now, so I've seen a lot of them come and go. I started out with Oki, and he is an amazing person. I have to say that that feeling has extended towards you and Aiko. And I believe you guys were with Tony for a while. It's really awful that he's gone. A lot of good people have come and gone during this time that I've been in it. One thing that I have seen is consistently misinformation the whole entire time, from the time I started to now. There's not been one intel provider that has ever gotten it completely right, and I don't see how they ever really can. And for that, I want to say to you guys being you and Art and Aiko and Bruce and Oki and all the guys that have been really stalwart about what you're doing and making such a huge effort for the people. And a lot of the people may disagree with me, but for myself, I want to say to you guys, thank you. Thank you for even putting up with the pressure that you must receive from the hunger of the people. And I've been guilty of that myself, obviously. Look at how many of the different ones that I've listened to and followed over the years. And I have to tell myself, stop. You know, you have to continue living your life. You can't put so much into this that it becomes your world. And for me, these past 5 years has been a time of learning patience. And honestly, I don't think I will ever ask God to teach me patience again. Be careful what you pray for. And I just don't think I ever will. This has been a very trying experience, and yet the Bible talks to us very clearly about God testing us, that God refines us. In fact, somebody a little while ago mentioned Joel Osteen. I love Joel. He is so awesome. And one of the things that he talks about is exactly that God will allow us. He doesn't do it to us. He allows us, much like he did Job, to go through numerous trials in order to stretch us so that we're ready for the next level. I know for myself, when I got into this thing 5 years ago, I thought, wow, this is awesome. And when, by the way, I was told about it, hurry up because it's going to happen right away. You're lucky to get in on it. And I'm sure a great many people that are listening to this call also heard that exact same thing. And I believe it was an invitation. I believe that it was by God. I do believe that with everything I am. And so the fact that that's the case, the fact that I'm a believer and I'm trusting in my Lord to honor his promise that he has made to us through time, and this is part of that. So what is my responsibility inside of that? Is it good for me to get upset and get angry and start railing against other people? We've known for years that there are bad people that are in this mix. We've known for years that there are people that are trying to take your currencies. In fact, I read something this morning. Another person has put that out. And they're, offering to take your dinar or your dong or whatever it is you're holding for you. And we'll exchange it for you because it's time, guys. So come on, let's do this. I mean, this has been going on since I first got in, and probably since Oki first got in, which was eons ago. And so we have to use what I call nowadays uncommon sense, because most people don't seem to have it. It doesn't seem common anymore. Those of us that have been in it, and that's everybody that's listening right now, you guys are putting yourselves out there. You're making an effort to grow and learn and be prepared when this thing happens. That's why you come on these calls for the most part. A lot of it is because we are hungry and we need some news. We want to know what's happening and has it happened yet, and, please help us. But a big part of the other side of that coin is the knowledge that we have gained, the teaching that has come our way. And within that, we've also learned to watch for the wolves in sheep's clothing. And again, another Bible reference, and God warns us of that. And they come to us presenting themselves as this wonderful package, and I'm here to help you, and I'm very knowledgeable, and I have all of these contacts. And let me tell you, they go way up. I mean, I got contacts in D.C. like you wouldn't believe. And a lot of us fell for it, hook, line, and sinker, because we wanted to, I guess. We had no proof in it. So we cause this frustration within ourselves by allowing it in, taking it in, and chewing on it and chewing on it. Our focus can get off kilter and be in the wrong place. My suggestion is that we all just take a step back, take a deep breath, and remember that God is still in charge. No matter how many wolves come into the fold and try and steer us in the wrong direction, if we keep our focus, we are being refined by fire big time. There are a lot of people, and I have gone through this myself, that are in such financial straits that what am I going to do? The one thing we cannot do, people, is put all of our eggs in this basket, because we don't know when this basket's going to produce. We just don't. So let's put our eggs in God's basket, and let's focus on him and concentrate on the fact that he promises his people that he will not leave us nor forsake us.
Absolutely.
So,
thank you, ma'am.
You bet. Thank you for the time. I just want to tell everybody, hang in there. God is still in charge. Men get in the middle of it, and we mix it up, and we make it stupid because we get ahead of ourselves, and we trip ourselves. If other people are doing wrong, that's their deal. That's their issue. They have to stand before God and answer for that. Let's focus on the business at hand and be prepared so that when this blessing does come through, we're ready. God's army is ready to go forward and do the work that He wants us to do. And with that, I say thank you all. God bless you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we're going to go to Douglas, Wyoming, 307. Come on down.
Jerry?
Yes, I have a question for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you in Douglas?
Yes, sir.
So, and a lot of people are going to scratch their head on this, but you and I are going to know. So, how is Hell's Half Acre doing over there?
It's not what it used to be, sadly to say.
Does that tell you that I know what I'm talking about and I've been there?
You betcha. Yeah, that's a nice long stretch there between Casper and Shoshone, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, it is. And sometimes you just had to stop back in the 80s when it was still something. But
right.
Unfortunately, at that time, they had removed all the rattlesnakes out of the pit.
Oh, heck. Yeah, they might be back now. They tore down the restaurant, bar, and the hotel and kind of fenced off the area. I just was across there a couple months ago. We stopped and looked down in the hole, I was with a friend. But
well, when all this comes through, you need to go out there and buy that little piece and rebuild.
There you go. That'd be perfect life, wouldn't it? A little bit of elbow room.
and for the people that are listening, it's actually on the map. It's the road. What is that? What's that road? I can't remember the highway coming out of Casper to Shoshone. 82?
Oh, goodness. 26?
Okay, yeah, 26. If you look on the map, and it's there, the old Rand McNally map, or even Google, there's a little thing that says Hell's Half Acre. It's a stop. All right, sir, what's your question? Please go ahead.
Well, Jerry, when your call started today, I kind of had a question in mind, and it's rather subsided as the call's gone on, to be honest with you. I'm a single dad of two boys and gone through some real serious touch-and-go health issues the last 2-3 years, trying to get back on my feet, and been holding this currency and hadn't been paying much attention to it. Had little more important things in life to worry about. But I've been very blessed, and I'm still here and bounced back. And to be honest with you, I have boys I need to get vehicles for and pay for college educations and whatnot. And the lady before me said, we shouldn't put all our eggs in one basket, and that's just cardinal rule I've lived by all my life. But that's kind of a position I find myself in right now, just based upon the last 3 years, and just trying to get on my feet again, really relying on this. And I saw the reports come out yesterday and got all excited. I didn't get a wink of sleep last night. I was searching high and low and looking for 800 numbers, and every time my phone made a sound, I checked it. And pretty darn disappointed and upset when find out it's another false report, particularly when it apparently came from Fisher and confirmed by the AIIB, et cetera, et cetera. But I'd like to share a thought, if that's all right with you. There's been quite a bit of discussion about Joseph today and others. And I hope, this is kind of a friendly reminder. It's something we all know. I'm not saying anything prophetic here. But I try to always remember it through my life, and it helps deliver peace of mind for me. And basically, it's just real simple. It's just the fact that, you know, we're taught to hate the sin, love the sinner, and to not judge. You know, we can't get inside of anybody else's head. We don't know what their motivations are. That's between them and the Lord, you know. But we are commanded to love all. We're commanded to forgive. And I think if we can kind of keep that spirit in our hearts and minds, then that helps deliver us to a higher level of peace. And so I just kind of wanted to share that, maybe if it's of any value to you or anybody else.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir, but I dispute none of that with you. I do want to add this to it, and it says in the Bible that if there's a leader in the community, he must be tested. He must be challenged to make sure that he's worthy. And I'm paraphrasing here, but I'm sure everybody out there is going, yeah, we know that section of the Bible. I know enough of the Bible to blow myself to kingdom come. But we're supposed to check and test these people that we're going to allow to lead us.
Sure.
So
we're given the gift of discernment too. You know, we're not supposed to be forgiving and just absolute fools and then find yourself right back same spot again. You know, forgive them, move on, distance yourself, whatever you need to do, but use your gift of discernment, stay awake and analyze the situation and do what you need to do to protect yourself.
Yes,
but
sir.
Don't carry around the burden of anger and resentment and whatnot. That doesn't hurt the other person at all. It just hurts ourselves.
I'm not angry, but after being thrown underneath the bus, at some point, and even people are saying, you know, what's going on, I'm just bringing to the table, that's not who I am. That's not what I've done, yet that's what I'm being accused of. So I just had to set the record straight, and that's all I'm doing. I wish him the best, and I wish the people that are listening the best, but use discernment.
Sure.
And that's what I've said on several calls.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, Jerry, I think anybody that knows you, you know, they don't question any of it for a millisecond. You know, we all appreciate you. I really like you. I think you're just a hell of a man, and be fun to go fishing with you or sip on a beer together, whatever it might be. I think you're kind of cut from the same type of cloth that I am. And,
how about we go out there to Alcoa Dam and wet a hook?
That would work. That'd work well.
All right.
That'd be great. You're
Thank
welcome
you, sir.
up here anytime, and always welcome at my fire. Darn sure.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for everything you do, Jerry. Very, very appreciate it. I know I say that for many.
Thank you.
Take care. Be well. Have a good day.
All right. It's been an hour and a half. I have some honeydews to do with the honey. So I guess we're going to, after an hour and a half of what some people will call negativity and ranting and raving, some people, let me see. Yep. I guess it didn't set well with a lot of people, lost a lot of people on the web. It is what it is. But we're down to, I guess, the core people that are want to learn and want to listen. So that being said, let's all take a knee. And Lord, thank you for guiding my lips today. And yes, I apologize for the profanity. I've already been admonished and reprimanded in emails and on Twitter. But sometimes we can't help ourselves because we're very passionate. And thank you for your grace and guidance and your forgiveness and taking care of us. And if you would, please forgive us on anything that we've done on this call that might have displeased you, because we're just trying to follow your good works. So in Jesus Christ's name, amen. Wingman, want to take us home? Got anything parting words to say before I kick everybody to the curb?
Yeah, in the spirit of today, like we say in New York, if you can't take a joke, fuck 'em. Bye.
Bye.
The conference is now completed. Goodbye.